Luke reminded me of a feeling I used to have when I was probably an early teenager. And what it was, when I have a friend spend the night with me or hang around with my friends a lot, and I would go back home, I would miss that friend. And I just felt a little bit of a sadness for days. It was like I miss, I miss Jerry. We hung out for a few days. I was like, I miss Brother Jerry when we were younger. And Luke mentioned it to me about Daniel. He said, I wish Daniel was here more. I miss Daniel. And it made me that feeling when I was a kid, thinking, I remember missing my friends like that. And then it made me feel like you guys in my life, how for years I'd have a feeling of missing you guys. And it was such a miraculous thing God did for me last month of putting me in a place where I miss you guys at home. I feel a connection with the body. It's just there. I just can't explain it word for word, but I know when I'm at home, in my quiet time, I can't explain it. I feel, Rob, I feel you. Donna, when I hug you, it's like hugging my old friend. I'm like, oh, I got you forever. It's like what God does, He does forever. He's put me in a place, like Gary said, you can't be saved unless you're in that place. People think it's this place, but it's a place. And I feel like for the first time, I've tapped into like it's a place. Amen. It's just a place. I'm going to echo off Sister Doris' testimony. The other morning, I take the kids to school in the mornings. I come home, get my cup of coffee, put work clothes on, and me and Jake go to work. And for the first time I can remember, I felt like coming home and laying across my bed and just getting still. And I started feeling bad, like, you gotta go to work. You gotta go to work. And I lay there, it's like, Lord, what is it? I feel something. And I felt like the Spirit was saying to me, the only way, it was your testimony. The only thing you own in this life is a testimony. That's something God gives you. Mm-hmm. And what God gives you, nobody can take away. And I thought about that. I was like, God, that is you. That's the only thing that I own is what you did for me. Yes. And if I don't tell it, what am I doing with it? What you do? How do I appreciate God what you did for me? So later, just thinking, and I wish I could testify how it feels when I layer people in words. But for what God did for him, I'm going to kind of highlight it. It was as if I was carrying these big tanks on my back. Didn't know where the goal was, the finish line, what direction I was marching in. And it was as if God just took them off my back and scooped me forward and said, there you go. There you go. This is the way you want to do it. And me not even think, oh, how do I do this? It was as if I knew exactly what to do. Amen. It was just like one step. And what God did for me, guys, people, family, it's like a big PVC pipe, wide open. And when I sit in my chair at nighttime, it's as if nothing. When I prayed, talked to Jesus, I used to be like, yeah, I got this, and this is gone. Amen. Yeah, I mean, no buildup, no sludge, a completely transparent, lit pipe. Is the best I can describe it. And I know God did it forever for me. If I believe it and keep my part and keep it clean. Amen. I know He did. It was as if, and I told Pastor John this, I'm very good at problem solving. I can negotiate and figure out anything, any situation I can pretty much get myself out of. I don't know how I got that. It's just, it's an awful thing and it's an awesome thing. It can help you and hurt you. And the night before, I was at my breaking point thinking, God, there is no way possible for this to be fixed. No way I could fix this. I knew that. It was as if Ahithophel, the strategist, he thought weeks ahead in battles. I knew there was no way in myself, my brain, I could fix where I was. And I went to bed that night thinking, God, if there's any way you can fix this, any way. I didn't see it. Nobody saw it. And to get that answer that morning, it's done. God is taking your sin and put it away. And the way he did that through Pastor John, I knew in myself it was impossible. Even if God was talking to me saying, Paul, you come on. The confidence from the people, it would take a while to prove yourself, and I knew that. But what God did in that chair that night for me, for us, I was so willing to whatever. I was so willing to, God, whatever. Like the night I was praying before, God answered through Pastor John for us. I say us.
Amen.
Whatever. That night, after talking to Pastor John, it got real. And I left her thinking, God, it is impossible. There is no way. And I left here and got my back door, and I texted brother, I'm sorry, I missed something with you, I apologize. I felt like doing it. I felt like I needed to do that. And that night we drove to a basketball game. It was a rainy, curvy country road because Noah was already, I didn't want to, I couldn't go. But Noah was there, he needed a ride home, so I drove, me and Jamie. And I thought, God, if I could just make it home. These old rainy, if I just physically don't kill me. I know, I see the anger, and just let me get home. At the basketball game, I was having my phone up looking up scriptures. The wrath of God, how do you get, and there wasn't no fix to that. Every scripture I looked up got worse, Aaron. I was like, God, there's got to be. So I went to bed that night and think, God, I can't. There's no way. Just. It's like, what have I done? You know? And to get that text that morning and to read, it's gone. And to believe God did that forever. No, Gary. I learned that the battle that I thought would have to feel that in the battle and the moves and all, it was in that chair. It wasn't a battle. It was a surrender.
Amen. That's right. Amen.
But I want to just tell you guys how it feels for Paul to sit in my chair and feel no condemnation, zero. It's a new thing for me. And I thought, you guys have been feeling this all along? Oh my goodness. It's as if God turned it into black and white to 4D colors. Like, that's why Carrie can pop up. And Samuel, Leanne,
Amen.
those feelings. And I always long for. And I can see up with Josie and that blessed cancer.
Yeah.
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 Because that's what took to get me here. That blessed
Amen.
fork in the road
Amen.
where the road don't turn.
Amen.
Amen.
So that's just some highlights of kind of
Praise.
God's good.
Amen.
I know you guys know that. So love y'all.